Did you see what Chappelle said about Andrew Schulz?
Yeah, this was
I didn't.
It's
And about slideshows.
What did he say?
I didn't see. What did he say?
Joe Rogan was bigging him up, really. Joe Rogan was bigging up Andrew Schulz, but Dave Chappelle wasn't having it.
Really?
He was kind of like shitting on it. He's like, oh.
It's one way to look at it. I mean, he didn't shit on it, but he just said it's not for me.
He's like, that's not what I do.
Yeah, which is true.
He's like,
I mean, could you imagine Dave Chappelle? Although he's just
Chappelle goes, oh, so he's doing a slideshow. I could do a slideshow kind of thing. He was slighting it. He wasn't like hard dissing it, but he's like, I'm not into it. I'm not interested.
Does Schultz normally do a slideshow? Because the stand-up I saw of him, he wasn't doing like slideshows.
No, he meant Joe was talking about
his
Netflix thing. The Instagram stuff he was doing, talking to camera, where he had lots of punchlines and lots of like little pictures and shit.
Yeah,
Schultz
and
version
that gave him a Netflix little series. And Joe Rogan was, talking about how great it is and for lockdown, how he figured something out. And Chappelle was just like, yeah, it's not stand-up though. You know what I mean? He was like, he was brushing it off.
Right.
Which is true. It's basically, Schultz did his version of like the Daily Show. You know, it's kind of like, it's topical stuff, but not quite so one-sided, with lots of punchlines and kind of that news anchor sort of feel to it, where there's a graphic over your left shoulder and it's just gag per minute. And it was good. I thought it was good. I thought the Netflix stuff was a bit too much. It's too much for like, it was great when it's 10 minutes, but when it's an hour of it, or
It was an hour.
Or 4 episodes, because there were 4 episodes of
Well, I didn't watch it when it went to Netflix, to be honest. I just used to watch a couple of the clips on Instagram.
The Instagram stuff banged, I thought.
Yeah, it was
the Netflix stuff was not what
People don't warm to him though.
He's very arrogant.
Yeah,
like
I
I love him, but my missus doesn't. Just thinks he's got that sort of.
You just take one look at him and people are like, he's not.
Yeah,
he's not that.
He doesn't
Why
endear
is that?
himself. Because he's quite arrogant, I think, with it. But I think that's his persona, and it's got. He's very laid back on stage, and I think he's quite. I don't know if that translates as well when he's on a podcast and stuff. And mate, he's fucking balling. It's probably gone to his head. He's got the #1 sort of comedy podcast on Patreon.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know, he's
that must be lots of money.
Like 70, 80 grand a month.
Jesus.
Just
how much do we get?
We haven't got a Patreon.
Yeah, we haven't. We've set it up, but I don't think we'd do well if we put it out there just yet. I think we need to get to at least 10 episodes before we do the Patreon.
What if we offer them the DMT episode?
That's definitely a Patreon episode.
I'd sign up to that Patreon. I'm going to cancel it after a month. But if I could watch Darius and Simon Kane doing DMT.
I think people have blown it up bigger than it is, because I don't think Chappelle was intentionally slurring him, but I think a lot of people are taking that angle.
But it was a brush off. It was definitely a brush off. There's no way Chappelle doesn't know who Andrew Schulz is.
I don't think Dave Chappelle watches like as much TV and Instagram podcasts.
Nah, he would know of, and even things said that Akash said that he had given him praise on some comedy clip that Akash had put out. And if you know Akash, if you know of Akash, you will definitely know who Schulz is. So Chappelle was just like, I think he knows of Andrew Schulz.
Oh.
As you said, the biggest podcast other than Joe Rogan in terms of comedy-related podcasts. So I'm sure he would have heard the name before, and he was just like, it's not for me. So I'm not saying he was outright dissing it, but he was just kind of like playing it down, brushing it on. Like,
But
then I also think the fact that Schulz came out and said that Patrice is the GOAT would be another reason that Chappelle might react like that, because
I don't think
Schulz came out and said
I don't
Patrice
think
is the GOAT.
Dave Chappelle's got that sort of arrogance about
But
him.
I think when you're that big, those sort of things still kind of rile you up.
So what, he's pissed off that Schultz didn't say that Chappelle's the
I know.
greatest
That's just my thought process. I think that Chappelle does know who Schulz is. The comedy world is small. we know of.
Oh yeah, he
comedians-
must know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He must know who Schulz is. So the fact that he kind of like was like, who did what? Yeah, not my thing. He was kind of playing it down. That's
Right.
my thought
Jeez.
process.
I wonder if they had a like argument once or something.
You never know, but I don't know. I
The
think
comedy world is small, man. Especially at that, elite level. He has to know who Andrew Schulz is. Come on, and the guy got a Netflix thing. He has to, and he deals with Netflix all the time.
I don't know, man. I don't think like the thing is
think
we
he
know
has to
it,
know.
but I don't know. Dave Chappelle's on the next level though. Like, would you be bothering if you're got your own show, your own specials? Would you watch anyone else? Like,
But he
I
must
know.
know. He must know who Andrew Schulz is. That's like saying
But
Volkswagen
he
haven't
would-
heard of
but
Tesla.
why would no? But why would he be like? We follow Andrew Schulz on Instagram or whatever because he's like one of our contemporaries.
I don't.
Well, you don't because you're too old. And that actually is a perfect point. Dave Chappelle's probably about your age, so why would he follow a younger guy? He probably wouldn't. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
I'm not saying follow.
He shouldn't, but I think he should know.
I'm saying know of.
So one thing,
Know of.
I think when Dave brushed it off, I don't know if he probably knows of Schulz, but he doesn't know of the Instagram bits that he was doing. Dave Chappelle only recently got Instagram, and I can guarantee you it's not him on there like liking and scrolling. He's far too busy, or he's got a team of social media guys